Okay, let's go ahead and cover the basic editing tools, shortcuts, and functionalities in Final Cut Pro. So let's just go ahead and select all these guys here and hit delete for now. Set a blank project over here. And instead of editing from the keywords of the line string outs, let's go back up over here to synced media. Let's get rid of our inspector over here. And I'm actually going to go into list view. We scroll up to the top here, scene 1, take 2. So let's say we were editing from this top scene. Now we have all clips selected right over here. Let's go over here and click hide rejected. So we're not seeing the tops and the tails, we're just seeing what we have. And you'll see there's a green line above this whole thing because this clip was labeled as a favorite. You can see right down over here, favorite. You can also on this triangles drop down, see the various moments of the different lines, and that are the blue highlights above it over there as well. So let's say we didn't want to use these pre-selected ones, but we wanted to select a new range over here. Well, basically what you would do is you would, let's say, we're going to start here. We're going to hit I for our endpoint. Hit spacebar.
Yep, dead.
And we don't want to stop there. We want to keep going to the next line too.
What, did anyone know? Not that I know of.
And then hit O there for out. So now we have our selection made up over here, separate from any pre-made ranges that we set before. And we want to edit this into the timeline over here. Now before I was dragging and dropping, of course, but rather than doing that, let's go to our keyboard shortcuts. So the first thing you would do would hit W. W inserts your browser selection into the timeline at the playhead, and it ripples everything after it. It does not overwrite anything. Now it's hard to see that because this was the first clip that we just added, but if we go ahead and let's put this playhead right in the middle of this clip, let's go up over here and we'll set an endpoint over here, and we'll set an out point over here. Now hitting W once again inserts this in and ripples everything behind it. Go ahead and hit Command Z to go back. Now using the Q shortcut, have this second range selected, it will insert edit it as a connected clip at the point of the playhead. Command Z to go back from that. You also have the overwrite, so by selecting a new range or a clip here, hit D, you'll see it overwrites the clip in the primary storyline, does not ripple back like the insert edit does. Finally, new range selected, playhead in the middle over here, go ahead and hit E. That will append edit it. Add it to the end of the timeline, regardless of where your playhead is when you do it. Also, as you can see here, go up over to our view. We'll make this even bigger so we can see the waveform and the video. If you wanted to simply edit this little section over here, not the audio, but the video only, you can go to this little drop down over here and select video only, or you can hit Shift 2 on your keyboard. Now when you do either an insert or an append edit, you'll see that you get it sans audio. Now I do not recommend doing that really. I would rather Command Z back, undo that. If I wanted to bring this in but not worry about the audio, I would put all selected. I would go ahead and edit it in, and then I would either lower the volume here, or more likely I would go up here into the inspector, go to your audio tab, and simply deselect the audio here. That way it doesn't show up here in the timeline. You've basically avoided it like you wanted, but if at any point you want to bring that audio back, all you have to do is here, click connected, and you get your audio back. If you do it the old way of simply Shift 2, video only edit, append that guy in, now you see when you go up here into the inspector, you don't get an audio tab at all. In fact, there's no way to bring that audio back other than manually bringing it in and creating a new synchronized clip, or going here and opening clip over here in clip menu. But that's cumbersome, like I said. Go ahead and just do it the way I did it. Bring it all in and then deselect it in the inspector if you don't want to look at your audio. Now you can also do what's called replacing clips. The way that this works is by dragging a new selection on top of a clip. You'll see it's outlined in white with that little green plus sign. Go ahead and drop it, and it'll ask you how you want to replace. Do you want to replace it wholly? Do you want to replace it from the start? Replace it from the end? Do you want to replace it with a retime, since this clip over here is a lot shorter? Or do you want to replace and add it to Audition? We'll go over Audition in a moment, but let's go ahead and hit replace. As you see, it completely replaces that clip and you lost some time. But you can also select the clip up over here and go ahead and hit Shift R. Shift R replaces that from the start. That is a shortcut. Option R is a complete replace from beginning to end time-wise. Now up over here in the timeline, this little image here is snapping. Snapping is N for shortcut, since S was taken for skimming. And snapping essentially means that when you get one clip close to the border of another clip, it will automatically snap on to that edit point or to the outer edge of the clip. Without snapping on, you'll see as you drag it over, you get no such thing. So snapping, much like skimming, can be one of those things that's either annoying or helpful depending on what you're trying to do. To zoom in on your timeline, simply hit Command plus, Command minus to zoom out. To scroll left to right in your timeline, I recommend having a mouse with the scroll button on top, but also the hand tool over here by hitting H on your keyboard can also be used to drag the timeline from left to right. Last but not least, if you wanted to solo a different clip in your timeline, you simply hit Option S for solo, and you'll see the clips around it become grayed out, and only the clip that you want
No knocks on the door? Nope.
has audio. This is helpful if you have, let's say, a number of pieces of audio or clip laying on top of each other, and you just want to hear this middle piece over here. Simply hit Option S to unsolo all the clips around. Finally, you might say, well, how do I do those J and L cuts that you can do with track-based programs? Well, in Final Cut Pro X, it's as simple as one button and a drag. Here in Final Cut Pro, you have the video and audio married within the same container. So when you do move left to the right, you see you don't have the ability to create J and L cuts with audio or video above or below. But by simply going up to View, Show Audio Lanes, the audio is separated into a separate track of sorts, where now you can come over, drag the video left to right, and create overlaps, J and L cuts as they are known in the parlance. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, Final Cut Pro X, not as magnetic as you thought, and fully capable and able of doing all of the functions and edits in other programs as well.